Welcome back. Today we have a unique carbine in that it was built in 9mm. So I designed this rifle to be sort of a close range, limited opportunity training carbine, and also to take advantage of the opportunity to actually compete with a rifle when able to in either IDPA or USPSA, whenever I was kind of feeling like I needed a good rifle tune-up. A lot of folks think that shooting PCC is cheating and it's part of the game. I'm not a PCC shooter per se, but on occasion, I like to break out the carbine and just see how it works, especially in those close confines and kind of like the leans that are forced in both USPSA and a little bit in IDPA. So kind of the core of this rifle is going to be the lean arms endomag conversion. So we see here, all you're doing is taking a PMag, taking all the guts out, and then you replace it with this follower system. And it also is pretty neat in that the feed ramp and the ejector are all built into the magazine. They're not inexpensive by any means, but they are pretty handy. And what I really like about this and why I went with this setup is that I have a carbine that everything feels exactly the same on my reloads and grabbing the same kind of magazine as I would with a 5.56 gun. So that was a big thing for me. They kind of pushed me into building this. I used a Brownell's lower, standard BCM upper, standard Geisley Mark IV handguard. So everything in this rifle externally is compatible with any other mil-spec carbine. This barrel, it took me a little bit to hunt it down. It's a Warsport 16-inch 9mm barrel. So if you guys know anything about Warsport, they're pretty hot back in the day, and now they're not around anymore. So this was kind of some new old stock that someone had on hand. Backup iron sights. These are the standard BCM Troy flip-ups that Pat Mack gave me actually. So I'll always have these on a carbine somewhere. And then I went just with a inexpensive Vortex T1 clone. Initially, I played with a bunch of different setups on this gun, kind of to replicate what I was training with at the time. And I went just with the T1 eventually because I wanted to have a single red dot, single sight picture. And I'm kind of over the hollow sight thing. As far as the bolt carrier group, this is the Brownell's bolt carrier group for their 9mm carbines. Not very expensive, pretty affordable option, and it works just fine even with these mags that obviously do not come with a bolt carrier group. Other things to make this work with a 9mm caliber. Barrel obviously, bolt carrier group, right, pretty clear there. Understand that this is a blowback system, so you're going to need a specific 9mm buffer and spring, basically a little bit heavier. You can tune that to how you want it to feel. Because it's a blowback and you have a little bit heavier buffer, the recoil is not as light as something like a roller locked gun, which for my preferences, I think that's fine. Again, is I want it to feel like a 5.56 gun. Another reason why I have a standard A2 flash hider, I'm not putting a crazy break on it. Down in the trigger group here, I went with the ALG ACT trigger. One is I wanted a good reliable trigger. Two, because a lot of this rifle is a spare parts build, right? Just being upfront with that. And then lastly, that heavier hammer spring is going to help retard the bolt on its way back and kind of slow down some of that cycle. So that's why I use that. And then the last kind of unique 9mm component are these anti-rotational pins. So I think these are completely unnecessary on a 5.56 gun, but on a 9mm gun, because it's a blowback, there's a lot of impact on those pins, and these kind of help reduce the wear on that part. So if you're building a 9mm gun like this, I think they're pretty useful. If you're just putting them on your 5.56 gun, I would say don't do that. It's not helping you at all. Again, these mags are pretty neat. I like them. You can see kind of the geometry there. I went with some Cry clips on these because I can easily grab them, go to the range, and get some good training in with them. If you don't have a 9mm carbine, but you have a lot of range facilities near you that allow you to shoot pistol calibers at steel at close range. You have a lot of USPSA in the area. You're feeling a little bit rusty. Building something like this or going with a dedicated pistol caliber carbine might be worth the investment. Ammo prices aren't low by any means now, but 9mm is still cheaper than 5.56. So this is a good way to get some solid reps in, confirm your ability to do holds and all your manipulations without burning through 55 grain at 60 cents a round or whatever it's going to be now. Any questions, of course, guys, let me know. That's what I'm here for. And I hope that this helps you guys kind of spark some juices flowing as to how you're going to get around some training impediments and take advantage of opportunities that exist. Thanks.